I'm going to be real and say one of the main reasons I got into fountain pens is because it's the closest thing to potions and magic and stuff like that in real life. You get all these cool tiny bottles. They have really weird names, and then you open them and it's a mystery. So what I'd like to share today on this channel about journals and ink and drawing are all the ink combinations from 2025. And I marked off 5 or so different ones that have really stayed with me, and they're always just the prettiest ones whenever I flip through and I think, oh my gosh, it's beautiful. I'm going to share what the inks are. I'm going to share all the bottles that I really think you should check out if our aesthetics vibe. So let's start with the first one. It's pretty interesting. But this is a setup that I did with the atramentis document black. And then on the inside, it's Birmingham Pen Company saltwater taffy. Now, saltwater taffy was a risk for me. I just saw it online and it's the 90 milliliter bottle. Woo! But I got really lucky. It's extremely saturated. It feels like a really beautiful, non-headachy pink highlighter. And with the black, it's just lovely. Next up, I paired that Birmingham Pen Company saltwater taffy with a ink sample. So I think this is Van Dieman's cerulean blue. And I really like the contrast of these. It's a beautiful light blue. All right, next one. This is one you're going to see a lot. The pink that I'm using is Teranishi Opera Rose. That's going to be just a top 3 for the whole year for sure. And then the green is my go-to Sailor Shikiori Rikyucha. And that is one of my first favorite inks that it kind of goes down brown or green and dries the other way. I love inks that can't quite make up their minds. That one looked good, but this is the one that I wanted to share. So now we've got a beautiful blue and a nice warm brown, almost a mustardy brown. And the brown or yellow is Teranishi Nostalgic Honey. And then the blue is another Birmingham Pen Company. This was something I got used, but I took a risk on the 90 milliliter bottle. And it's Robin's Egg Blue. It's just really stunning. And this is what I used with a whole sticker pack that came in this cool mustard color. And I just really like it. All right, check this out. Looks familiar, kind of like that second one. But this is a slightly different pink. This is Kiyo no Oto Cherry Blossom. It's just a little more saturated, a little more velvety. And then the Rikyucha. And then this one, we've got the Teranishi Opera Rose back, but then the green goes a little lighter into Pelikan Olivine. And that one is hard to find. Unfortunately, I fell in love with it as an ink sample that someone sent me, only to find out everybody marks up the bottles. So it's a real bummer. I love, a lighter pink, something on the warmer edge, and then something on the cooler, darker edge. I just love that contrast and how this goes together. All right, this is one of my absolute favorite spreads the whole year, and these are both teranishi. So we've got Teranishi Opera Rose is back, and then we've got Teranishi, what is that green? Gentle Green. Teranishi Gentle Green. And then, whoa, isn't this beautiful? This is top page or 2 as well. So this is one of my favorite blues, Troublemaker Milky Ocean. And I used that to document kind of different drinks that I had. And then I pulled out that Kiyo no Oto Cherry Blossom again for just a rich, saturated, just seeing it makes me want to do it again. And this is paired with some really neat stamps that I got in my sticky subscription too. All right, next up we see the combination. We bring in the Troublemaker Milky Ocean with the saltwater taffy. And I just find these two, it's just a beautiful contrast. I guess I'm really into pink. I guess so. And then along the bottom, we've got Noodler's Massachusetts 54th, something like that. And that's a nice waterproof one. It is almost chalky. I don't know. I got it a long time ago, and it's a staple. All right, now we're changing it up a little bit. For our bright blue, we've got Tom's Studio Sunny Teal. I got this at a recent pen show. And it really is like sunlight shining through a pool. It's so nice. I love it. And then we've got Teranishi Nostalgic Honey. And I love Nostalgic Honey. It's got all the tones from a really deep, rich brown to a mustardy yellow. All right, next one. I was really impressed with just a high contrast of the atramentis document black. And then I brought in the Tom Studio again. Tom Studio is a bit brighter and a bit greener than Birmingham Pen Company Robin's Egg Blue. All right, let's make sure I didn't miss any again. This one's getting kind of fall-ish for October. We've got, I forget the name of that, but I see the box. For the bright orange, we've got Kobe Poro. I'm not really an orange gal, but I like it enough. I was trying to recreate the saltwater taffy, and it does seem to have that kind of tone or shade. I just haven't found the right pen for it yet. And then Noodler's Massachusetts 54th. And the premiere of my favorite ink in this set of pages, at least, Diamine Cult Pens Deep Dark Orange. And I got a nice hefty bottle of that. Somebody sent that to me just for the shipping in the pen Slack. I'm really indebted to pen people for most of the things I love. All right, and then this one caught me by surprise. I did not think I would like this green and red pairing, but with all the blues and then just an accent of red, it's lovely. So the red is a Tombow marker. The green is Sailor Emerald Sea Glass. And then I tried out some of the bellflower, which is a purple. I'm not into purple and orange. I'm still working on it. But I did like how all this laid out and how the contrast came together. We got sui-gyoku for the Iroshizuku, kind of the teal going on. All right, another pairing. You've seen it. Here's the next one. And this is sui-gyoku from Iroshizuku, which is like the teal. And then Opera Rose showing up as kind of a peach with the peach washi tape. All right, let me just triple check, make sure I haven't missed anything. And all of these are beautiful. There's different experiments and different things I tried, but I'm just trying to point out the ones that the ink pairing has just been really refreshing. This is me trying to make sure I didn't miss anything. And I was about to. So this combination, this is the dark blue of the Noodlers, and then the pinkish, peach, brownish bleh of the Opera Rose. Again, just colors that don't really know what they are. I'm a sucker for it. And this page just really pleases me. And there you have it. I hope this goes a long way to curing some of your depression. I hope your life has been not as eventful as mine over the past few weeks. That has kept me from doing as much stationary content as I might like. I hope your journal is a place of comfort for you. I hope you can escape there. Life is a lot sometimes, And these beautiful little inks, it's almost like there's magic in there. Does anybody need this many? No. Will I use all of this in my lifetime? No, for sure not. Do I love them and look at them and use them every day and make friends with people who also love them? Yes. Yes, indeed. And I think, at least at this point in my hobby life, that is all I need. What does 2026 have in store for us? I don't know. But it's pretty fun to think that I'm going to take a lot of these and share them with friends and run across a bottle or two that's just really fun. And that brings out another element of either my creativity in my drawing or in the pairings in the notebooks and the combinations or even in the pens that I have, because each pen brings its own character to whatever the ink is doing. And that's why we are so deep in this hobby, and I'm so glad you're here with me.